AITA for stealing my friend's crush. I'm new on Reddit and still getting used to this app. Sorry. Long story ahead, my friend sent me some pictures of a guy and told me that she was interested in him but didn't know what to do. Of course I told her to just text him. They texted and eventually met up a couple of times. She would also tell me how nice he is in real life and how he actually kissed her on the lips on his birthday. I eventually got to know they never actually kissed. My friend asked me if I think he likes her, and I tell yes I think he does. She asks him the same thing but he denies liking her that way. Now, my friend and I would meet up twice a month and every time we did, she requested me to ask her crush if he talked to her recently. I felt uncomfortable every time she asked me to do such thing, but she insisted way too much. Some time passes and she tells me to text her crush, "Hi, how are you doing?" and then leave him on scene. She wanted to see if he would reply faster to me, a stranger, or to her. I refuse, but she once again insists a lot. We agreed that I would try to befriend him. We eventually become friends, but my friend would always ask me, "His crush name replied to you?" And I usually said no, he hasn't, because I wanted him to have some privacy. A few months later, she keeps asking me if her crush asked anything about her because apparently they hadn't talked in a few days and she was waiting for him to text first. He eventually asked me about my friend. My friend tells me tell him we haven't talked in a few days, and I do just that. He gets worried and asks me if she's okay. My friend tells me do not reply to him, I will come up with an excuse in the evening. But she later told me she would probably tell him she was in a coma and she was potentially going to die. I plead her to just tell him the truth, because her excuse was messed up. I couldn't stand it anymore, and I went to tell her crush the truth. He eventually let me know about a lot of the lies she told him and even let me know about the lies my friend fed me with. He eventually receives a text from my friend, the same excuse she's told me a few hours prior. I asked my friend, "Did you tell him the truth?" And she said, "I'm working on it." At some point I begged her to just tell him the truth, but she would only lie to him even further. After some time I tell her that her crush knows everything now, so she should not lie to him anymore. She tells me, "You should have told me sooner." Her crush tells her he doesn't want to talk to her anymore, and she blames me for everything, which I was expecting. And I know I wasn't innocent in that situation. She disappears for a few days but eventually tells me she still wants to be my friend. Her crush and I remained friends, and now, almost a year later, we both confess to each other we're not on a relationship though. So, AITA,